Hi there, Chris from TotallyEV, and here I'm doing a dedicated audio review of both the EX40 and the EC40 models. If you want a detailed review of the vehicle itself, make sure you check it up on your pop-up banner or by following the links down in the description below or the pinned comments. Now to kick things off, we have to talk about its audio configuration. And at the time of filming and in the UK, the Core and the Plus trims have got an 8-speaker configuration with 250 watts of power output. To be more specific, you have got a mid-range driver at the center of the dashboard with a fresh air woofer. You've got tweeters that are found within the A-pillars, full range drivers that are found within the front doors, and woofers that are found within the rear doors. If, however, you go for a £550 option or opt for the top spec Ultra trim, you'll find a 12+1 Harman Kardon audio system that outputs 600 watts of power. Yes, indeed, it's listed as 12 speakers, but if you do note, there's also a subwoofer listed as well. To be more specific over here, you have got a full range driver within the dashboard, the same fresh air woofer that is found within the dashboard as well, tweeters within the A-pillars, full range drivers within the front doors, woofers and tweeters within the rear doors, mid-range drivers within the rear parcel shelf, and also a ventilated subwoofer within the left side of the boot. So therefore it completes the audio system, giving you 13 speakers in total. Now for you to tinker around with the audio drivers, you want to navigate on the 9-inch display. And with the Harman Kardon system, which is on review, I've left the seat optimization at all. I've also left surround enabled, but taken a few notches off the center position. I've then added 5 notches to treble, 3 notches off bass, and 4 notches onto subwoofer. Of course, these are my subjective settings, and it very much depends in terms of your music genre that you're actually listening to, but I've done these settings for a certain reason, which I'll be touching upon further down in this review. Now for you to connect up to the infotainment system, you have got Bluetooth with the SBC and AAC codec supported only. Thankfully, however, you can use Android Auto and Apple CarPlay over a wired transmission. And yes, wireless support is not present, at least not at the time of filming and in the UK. Moving on, we get onto cabin noise, and here the objective measurements will be on your screen. It actually does do pretty well across the board. However, one might have expected even better sound optimization given it's a Volvo. And in comparison to my thoughts that I had when I reviewed the XC40 and C40 recharge models, my expectations are a little bit higher now given the overall pedigree of Volvo and also the increased competition in the EV space. Ultimately, what I'm trying to say over here is that cabin noise could have been further reduced, specifically at higher speeds. Now with all that out of the way, let's get on to a sound demo. I'll be placing the camera and microphone in a few different locations within the cabin and playing back a track. It's from Priya J and it's titled Like Me. So I do appreciate an audio demo over YouTube is not quite ideal because it's not going to give you a lifelike reproduction, but I thought to provide it as gives you a bit of a taster as to what to expect. Now subjectively, as someone who's reviewed over 130 different in-car audio systems, I'll say the Harman Kardon audio system is certainly one that you might want to consider because it does actually do well across the sound and frequency range, albeit sounding a little bit V-shaped. Now let me expand. First off, in terms of the overall sub-bass experience, you have got that subwoofer that's placed within the boot, at least within the Harman Kardon audio system, and therefore it will give you better low-end extension. With that said, it does actually sound a little bit cut off, and with a combination of the air woofer, I do think here there's some other audio systems that will provide you even better low-end rumble. However, the overall mid-bass impact is actually pretty hearty, so much so that I actually had to take a few notches off the bass EQ, and therefore meant that the overall woofer drivers that are found at the back and the full range drivers that are found within the front doors actually do provide you a pretty lively experience, which will certainly be appreciated if you're listening to more bass orientated music such as the R&B, D&B and EDM genres. Now unfortunately, this sort of bass emphasis does take away and eat away at the overall mid-range, therefore giving you a little bit of a recessed and pushback nature. This will certainly not be a bad thing for those people that want a little bit of a warmer sound signature, but for audiophiles out there, this audio system doesn't compete with some of its competitors, namely for example the Tesla Model Y, which really trounces it in terms of the overall mid-range accuracy, not only in terms of bringing you much more forward male and female vocals, but also providing you full bandwidth controls when it comes to the overall EQ. Yes, indeed, over here you're limited to a treble EQ, which will also affect the high-end frequency, which is actually quite a shame. Speaking of which, over here, the high-end extension both at the front and rear of the cabin, at least in the Harman Kardon audio configuration, is actually pretty good because you've got those dedicated tweeters, giving you a good toe-tapping feeling and without it sounding too harsh or sibilant, even if you're going to be EQing it pretty harshly with the treble EQ that can be found via the infotainment system. Now this does actually bring me in terms of the overall soundstage, and here you've got good sort of instrument separation, namely given the fact that you've got a good number of audio drivers that are found within the cabin. Furthermore, the overall width and depth actually feels done pretty well, and that is also thanks to the fact that you've got a relatively small cabin, at least if you compare it to some of the larger sized SUVs out there on the market. Now ultimately what I'm trying to say over here is that the Harman Kardon audio system that's comprised within the EX40 and EC40 are certainly very impressive and therefore get our Performance Audio Award. However, in comparison to when I reviewed the vehicles back in 2021 and 2022, I do think there are some better alternatives out there that will give you even better audio performance. And therefore, if vocal clarity and that increased overall soundstage and dynamism is something that you might want to look out for, then you might want to consider some of the alternatives, which will be down in the description below for your own consideration. Make no mistake, however, if you're looking at this vehicle, definitely do look at the Harman Kardon audio system, be it if you're looking at it as an option, or indeed curious to know how it performs in the Ultra trim as it comes fitted as standard. Now I'd be curious to know what you make of the audio system that's comprised within the Volvo EX40 and EC40 down in the comment section below, and how you feel it compares to some of its modern competitors. If you've enjoyed this detailed independent review, definitely do consider dropping a like, subscribing and hitting that bell notification, all of which would be greatly appreciated. As such, I've been Chris from TotallyEV, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one. Take care of yourselves and goodbye.